I've heard this come up from multiple people over the years, and I see it resurfacing on TikTok about collecting vinyl variants, and I figured I'd make a video on it because, as you can see, I'm a bit of a collector myself. So the big question today: are vinyl or any other musical media variants bad? That is an amazing question to ask, and I think it's something that started out with good intentions and as a cool thing, but unfortunately has gone into chaos over the last 5 years. I'm going to talk from my personal experience because I am someone who does collect some vinyl variants at times. Now, not as much now, but I do have a ton of variants here and there. The first time I really experienced anything with variants was actually a CD. Insane Clown Posse's album, The Mighty Death Pop, from 2012, where you could buy 3 different variants: the black pop, the white pop, and the red pop. Now, my first copy I got was the red pop, which came in a slipcase box with the full main album, plus a bonus album called Smothered, Covered, and Chunked, which was a covers album. Black pop came in a similar box, but black, and the bonus CD for that one was Freaky Tales, which has an hour-long track on it. And the white pop, same thing, just a different white box. And the bonus CD there was Mikey Clark's Extra Pop Emporium, which featured a lot of remixes. They also did that with their previous album to that, Bang Pow Boom, with the album being split into 3 different colors. I think it was red, green, and blue, and each album had 2 songs added exclusive to those albums. So like blue had 2 songs exclusive, red had 2 songs exclusive, and green had 2 songs exclusive. And then a year later they dropped the nuclear version, or the deluxe edition, which had all that plus extra. Other artists have also done this, like one of my more favorite releases is Blazy Dead Homies' Gang Rags album, which you could collect 5 team bandanas relevant to the album, and they came in a box with the main album. And some of them, if I'm correct, they did have a sticker saying which one had which. I have, I think, 1 or 2 sealed, but then some are opened. I got all 5. Then for some, there's your more run-of-the-mill store variants, which you'll see within the vinyl section mainly, but sometimes CDs. You can find these normally at Walmart, Target, Amazon, online store exclusives. Sometimes there's Spotify exclusive at times. I don't know 100%, but I know there's some. And if you remember, I would say about 6 to 8 years ago, Best Buy and FYE having store variants. Normally with these, you'll see more of the color vinyl variants with them all, or sometimes an alternate cover. Like my copy of McCartney 3 from Target has on green vinyl with the green dice on the front instead of the white one, or my Walmart exclusive of Kiss's Destroyer album on this transparent orange. I will say, in the past, these variants did seem pretty cool, but over the last 5 to 6 years, it's gotten really out of hand, and we're going to showcase some of the more standout ones. But the first one we're looking at, actually, is McCartney 3, Paul McCartney. I know I just said I like this album, but this one, if I'm correct, has like 55 releases in the first year, plus 5 and then 3, so that's 64 versions total. And we're gonna minus some because there are file MP3 variants in there for some reason, and the test pressing. I don't want to count those because those are just, it's like test pressing you really can't publicly find, or just the MP3 variants. So about, let's say about 59 to 60 variants total. Could just honestly count whatever's in the first year, but still, that's crazy. If I'm correct, this album came out like end of the year. Yeah, December 18th, 2020, and we had 55 variants in 1 year. That's crazy. Next one is Ozzy Osbourne's Patient Number 9. Obviously, one of my, I don't want to say it's one of my favorite albums from Ozzy, but it's a solid album out of the last 2. But 63 versions, how many came out in the release year? 62. And then 1 in that, so that's crazy. In the first year, we had that many, and there's just different variants you can look at, different color variants, comic book covers, just any type of random thing. Picture discs. I'll show you a picture of the, this thing. So this is what the, like, I think it's like the comic cover, whatever you want to call it. That is a beautiful vinyl, though, I will say that. But then there's also CDs, cassettes, all that in here, so a lot of variants. But so many in a 1 year span is, like, mind-blowing to me. I talked about her last year, but we're talking about variants again, so we're going to talk about her, especially this album, Christ Almighty. So this one, you can see all the different, like the manuscript, Bolter, Albatross, Black Dog variants. So just CD, we have this many CD kinds. We have vinyl variants, we have cassette variants, digital album variants, which I think is the most ridiculous. How many in the first year? We can find that. 82! Christ! So let's just say, minusing some MP3s, let's say 70 to 75 releases in 1 year. Still crazy. The only reason I said 70, 75 because Christ Almighty, there's so many different variants of this damn album. God knows how many are digital. Now we're going to talk about Twisted. I know I love Twisted. This is such a good album, but they're in the crossfire on this one because why do you have so many variants? Now there is the main variant, which I'm going to gripe about this because where's the retail CD? Retail CD right here has this on it. That's what it looks like. And if you notice, it has FYD and Thunder from the Sky. So why does the retail version include bonus? But yet, the Twisted Shop or whatever, Twisted exclusive, yes, it has that cool, interesting cover, but why do we not have two different on there? I think that's kind of a BS thing, but there was also the Blood Red variant for the release show, which was misprinted, so that's why there's a disc. So this I'm counting as one, because I don't think that can be fully two pressings, but whatever. Then we have two cassettes. We have a ton of vinyl variant. This is like probably the most they've done with a vinyl variant ever of any album they have in the first release of it. I will say that, because I know if I didn't say that, people would have come at me for them doing anniversary editions of Green Book, Freak Show, etc. But as a release date variant, this is probably the worst they've done. We'll actually go to their last album before this, just so I can show you I'm not crazy. So we'll go Glyph. That's their most recent actual one. But even this, we'll do the Darkness too, hell yeah. So Glyph, this came out, when did this come out? 2022. So, one CD variant, then the reversed release cover, and then another color variant for that, for an LP, and then, so it looks like 2 vinyl, 2 CD, not bad. And then The Darkness, 10 years old. I would say one of their best albums that they've dropped in a while. 4 variants, so you have the normal vinyl, and then you have the normal CD. I have both of these. Then we have an M&E store exclusive double vinyl, and then it looks like half blue, half orange. If I'm correct, this is like a retail variant. And that's a cool variant, I will say that. And then what's this one? Let's see how cool this one is. Oh, it doesn't have one yet. Ugh. But still cool, you can get the idea. So 10 years old and 4 releases. Then last one, I'm going to just show you quickly. Hackney Diamonds by the Stones. Great album, 2023 release. I hit the wrong one again. I hit labels. I need year. 64 releases in the first year, and then 7 in 2024. But this one is a bit of a crazier thing, because not only do you have some store variants, the number 9 Carnaby one, the picture discs, the Zoetrope. Oh god, I'm tired of Zoetrope discs. But also you have alternate covers from Paul Smith, Kid Supper did a couple of them, and then the baseball ones. That's what went crazy with this, is the baseball ones. Where's my team, even though I haven't watched them play in over a decade? The Baltimore Orioles one. So like the baseball ones, I'm actually interested in getting that one just to have it. I honestly am all for having some variants. Like, I think Suicide Boys actually does a fine job with not going overboard with how successful / big they have gotten. Like, them as a group having less than 10 physical release variants per each of their last 3 albums. Twisted, even for the most part, is normally solid with not having an insane amount of variants, as I showed, with albums like Glyph, as I had previously displayed, and then also Unlikely Prescription having less than 10 variants per album. One of the more notable things that I've seen from collectors state is the prices. Prices of variants being crazier than retail, which thankfully in my case, I have found a lot of the variants to be around the same price range. Like you can't really see it, but over there, the Songs of Sam Hain box set, which features the first 3 on vinyl. If I'm correct, the MNE store exclusive and the retail variant are around the same price. They're around, like, at release, they were around like $60. Maybe $65, but they were both around the same range. And to show off the prices, we're actually going to be talking about that Rolling Stones album, Hackney Diamonds, as obviously there is a lot of data to look at there. So going off of their actual store website, I did research, I went to their store to find these. All the versions seem to be pretty much the same price, with the black standard vinyl and the store exclusive blue vinyl both being $37.99. And then obviously I looked up the baseball team variants just to show that one off, and it only went up by a penny. And what's even more wild than that is the Target exclusive on a purple vinyl, which I am a sucker for purple vinyl. It looks so good, I want it so bad. That one is actually less. That is $34.99, so some variants are less than the standard. Now, am I against variants of any kind in music? Absolutely not. I think it can actually be a really cool and helpful thing at times. Unfortunately, it has gotten so out of hand that I think it is actually going to start really affecting the vinyl community, because now when I go to record stores, I'm seeing less of the indie retail exclusive, like indie store exclusive for your local record stores, and I'm seeing more of dead stock come in from Walmart, Target, etc. Like my Bing Crosby one was a Target exclusive, if I'm correct. Paid $10 for it, but I looked it up and it's like $20 brand new, so they're just offloading a ton of dead stock to there. I think it's crazy. Now, if they want to save this niche community of variant collecting, I say niche, but it's probably a lot bigger than I think. But most people say, hey, I'm just going to get one and I'm good. Or maybe they collect a record store edition, but whatever. If they want to save this, I think here's what they have to do to save it. Have it limited to 3 total upon release. Now, here is the 3 that should exist within, I would say, the first year of an album being out. Now, keep in mind, you could be releasing CDs, vinyl, and cassette. I would say 3 per. That's where you want to be at. About 3 per, but this mainly goes for the vinyl version, because this is the one you're going to see mostly. There should be a retail version, obviously, or better known as a standard pressing, first pressing, whatever. Normally it's just the first release on a black vinyl, or just a basic CD release, you know? There should be a store exclusive for the artist, and then there should be an indie store exclusive, because you want to go support your local record stores better than a Walmart or a Target. Now, for the web store exclusive and the indie store exclusive, they should be different, but maybe they have an alternate cover, maybe they have a different color variant on the vinyl, maybe they include a poster, or even, do I have one right here? Yeah. Maybe they include a trading card, who knows? Just mix it up, have some fun with it. Now, thank you for watching. What are your thoughts on this stuff? Because I know this can be kind of a sensitive topic at times, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.